Next, I'll keep this page up, and then I'll ask some of you to check and see which of our classmates fit these criteria and which don't. Every time I finish talking about this, some people, real or fake, don't dare to come up anymore. In our class, we have quite a few people who specialize in plastic surgery, many who do cosmetic procedures, some who used to do manual reshaping, some who work in medical aesthetics, some who give injections, and some who focus on anti-aging. We have all kinds of people here. No matter what you do, you need to understand these principles. Come on, let's get started. If you feel that your cheekbones are uneven in height or width, you can come up, okay? All right, that's enough, that's too many. All right, photographer, go through everyone one by one from the front, or you can be the judges and referees. Look for those with obvious differences in height and width. Which one? This one. Take a small step forwards. This one? Wait, are you actually serious? Are you the one with the external injury? Please, step forward for a moment. Which one is directly in front? Is it this one right here? This one? This one? The one in the red vest? This one? Did you notice that the model who had the most crooked head on stage the first day, now that they're here, doesn't really stand out anymore? Yes, after the adjustment, they've already blended in with the others. The one in the red jacket and shirt, is it this one? This one? Come on, step forward. What is this? Just step forward. Okay, that's good. You all pick one first, okay? Pick the one whose cheekbone height difference is the most obvious. Is this the most obvious? The one in the floral clothes. You stand in the middle, stand in front of the green sign. It's not obvious, right? Okay, which other one? Let me ask you, did you say you had a fracture from an external injury? How did you fall?
It was when I was at school, using the bunk beds, and I was playing hide and seek with my friends and classmates. I mistook the outside for the inside, so I dove down, and my face landed on the ground on this side. It swelled up at the time, but I didn't pay much attention to the accident.
Did you fall from the lower bunk or the upper bunk?
The upper bunk?
You fell from the upper bunk and landed on your face?
Yes.
So you didn't get an x-ray or have it checked at the time?
No, I was just dazed for a while, and it was just swollen. There wasn't any particular pain or anything.
The upper bunk is really high. Let me see if there's anything. Oh, it really is different. The cheekbone feels different. This side is uneven and bumpy. He might have developed a growth after injuring his eardrum. He landed on his right cheekbone, falling straight down from the upper bunk. That's very dangerous. It could easily break your cervical spine. Yes, so my neck. Your cervical spine isn't in good shape either. For your case, you'll need imaging. I need to see if there are any fractures inside and also the extent of the growth. Because the bones on both sides of your face have developed differently from others due to trauma. When I first examined him, it was quite obvious. I asked him, is this real or fake? Because it looked a bit like it was surgically altered, but he said it was from an injury, which makes sense. Here, it was exactly the right cheekbone that hit the ground. Go get an x-ray later to see if we can help you recover in that area, okay?
Mandibular disorder?
Yes, you have a joint disorder. With a fall like that, it's hard not to have one. Let me look at your teeth. Tell me, what's wrong? Speak up.
When I talk, my speech is a bit slurred, like I keep saying the wrong words. That's how it feels.
I can help with this. I can move his hyoid bone. The hyoid bone controls speech, so you can focus on the hyoid bone. I'll hold the microphone for you so everyone can see how your hyoid bone moves when you speak. Can you talk? Please introduce yourself to everyone. Where are you from and what do you do?
Hello, everyone. My name is Yingjin Yan. I'm from Beijing, and I'm currently a yoga instructor.
So there's an issue with her hyoid bone. She says her speech is slurred and uncontrollable, and that's related to this area. It's related to the temporomandibular joint and the hyoid bone. This is actually what I'll be talking about this afternoon. You can come up again this afternoon. For now, I'll help you with your unclear speech first. Also, if you have time, you should get an x-ray because when I touch here, it feels uneven. I don't know if, after your fall from such a height, there was any impact. Even though there was no fracture, there could still be a crack or some bone growth. The floor was wooden too. Luckily, it was wood, but you fell from such a great height. Okay, let's pick the first one to come up. Short hair. All right, then. Now look at his upper and lower lips. Can you see the color difference? Right. If you were selling lipstick, you'd say these are two different shades. Okay, is the height difference obvious? There are only a few people here, so each of you stand up one by one and let them take a look so they won't have any regrets. Is the width difference obvious for this one? Right, his left side is noticeably wider than the right, isn't it? That's how it looks. All right, let's switch to another one. Isn't this the perfect combination of nature and technology? But it's okay, it's just a slight degree. Do you have temporomandibular joint disorder? If you don't have it, you wouldn't know either. Look straight ahead, look straight ahead. Ah, it's more obvious when he smiles. Okay, you guys pick one. That's right, come on, take a look at each one. I'll teach you how to assess now. Look at him and tell me which side is higher and which is lower. Left high, right low. Let me see. No, that's not it. For him, it's right high, left low. But let me ask you this. Which way is his chin shifting? His chin shifts to the left, right? Right. His midline is slightly to the left, and his chin shifting left means his head is turning to the right, correct? Is the left ear in front and the right ear behind? Is his left eyebrow higher? Has he had his eyebrows tattooed? Her eyebrows have been slightly microbladed just a little bit, but for the most part, they're real. That's how it is. So it's like this. The head turns to the right, the chin shifts to the left. And then the left cheekbone is lower, so as it turns forward like this, looking at his face, which side do you think his hip line is lower on? The left side, right? Turn your back to everyone and show them. Yes, take off your shoes and stand barefoot. All right, let me ask you this way. Which way is his pelvis as a whole rotating? Toward the right rear or the left rear? It's rotating toward the right rear, isn't it? So it's bearing weight on the right, right? Which way is the head turning? To the right. Does that match up? The chin is turning in the opposite direction of the pelvis. Does that match up? That's right, but now look at his sacrum. Which way is the sacrum facing? Right, the spine is going to the opposite side, so if you just look at the gluteal crease, you can't judge it accurately. So this sacroiliac joint has been thrown into disorder by his training. What kind of injury did you have?
When I was little, I fell from the second floor to the first floor, landing upside down. Then in 2020, I was in a car accident and I was basically bedridden for about a month, barely able to move.
Wow, everyone in our class must have 9 lives, falling headfirst from the second floor and landing on your head. And after that, it still wasn't over. You had another car accident.
Yeah, for a long time, this area couldn't move at all.
That makes sense. The sacroiliac joint wouldn't move for a long time either, so the ilium and sacrum are positioned in reverse at the sacroiliac joint. So that's where the problem lies. That's also why it's harder to adjust your face and pelvis, because it's caused by trauma. Do you still have lower back pain now? Occasionally, right? It's not completely healed yet. For this, I'll need your x-rays. I want to check the relative position of your sacrum and ilium. When you practice, you need to be careful because this isn't a typical mechanical compensation. You experienced a massive external impact. By the way, what did you say happened to your face earlier?
My face just feels like whenever I'm chewing, I can chew on the right side, but not really on the left. And then if I try, there are 2 clicks on this side and 1 click on the other side.
That's exactly right. Because his pelvis rotates to the right, his right temporomandibular joint is internally rotated, which pushes the left side outward. So when he chews with the back teeth on the left, they can't make contact, right? That's why he can chew on the right, but not on the left. This is completely normal. This means his temporomandibular joint and the entire pelvis are in alignment. It's just that his ilium and sacrum have shifted out of place. However, his jaw didn't follow the direction of his coccyx. Instead, it followed the direction of his entire pelvis. Normally, his jaw should move to the right, correct? Looking at his sacrum and coccyx, his jaw should go to the right. But in reality, his jaw goes to the left. So his jaw is following 2 things. First, the overall rotation of the pelvis. And second, the rotation of the atlantoaxial joint. It's following these. That's why everyone's compensation pattern is different. But in general, the normal situation is for the jaw to follow the direction of the coccyx.
Sometimes when I'm breathing, like when I'm lying on my back at night, I feel like this whole area on my right side is being compressed as I breathe.
You feel discomfort on your right side when you breathe? That's also correct. Why is that also correct? Let me explain it to you this way. Hand me the pelvis. Let's look at it from the back. Right now, the whole pelvis is like this, isn't it? And then when the pelvis is like this as a whole, normally it should be like this, right? In other words, its sacrum curves to the right and the tailbone swings to the left. Wherever the tailbone swings, all the ligaments on that side get shortened. That means the left pelvic floor muscles become loose and sag down, but in this case, that's not what's happening. It's like this. The whole pelvis is rotating to the right, but its base bone is like this, so it's the right pelvic floor muscle that's sagging. That's why she says she feels pressure and difficulty breathing on the right side. That's exactly correct, isn't it? Yes, because her right pelvic floor muscle, compared to the left, doesn't have the function of exhalation. This is because her sacrum and ilium are misaligned, so things are going in the opposite direction. At this point, her right pelvic floor muscle can't exhale, but her left side is actually fine. And what else did she say? She said that when lying down, the sacrum provides support. At that time, because his pelvis as a whole rotates to the right, the pressure on this side is greater. So when standing, the weight-bearing side is better at exhaling. When standing, the weight-bearing side is better at breathing. But when lying down, this side is no longer bearing weight, and he uses the sacrum for support. At this point, things are different, so he feels pressure here. This is where he differs from normal compensation patterns. He is indeed quite strong, so you can understand it as his sacroiliac joint being misaligned due to trauma. Decompensation has occurred, and the direction of his compensation is different from that of most people. Okay, that's one point. For this, we need his x-rays to see what kind of damage the car accident caused and to check his pelvic ring and cone. Maybe he fell from the second floor. The issue with the pelvic ring and cone could be caused by landing on his head in a head-first fall, but in this case, it was due to a car accident. Because he was bedridden for a long time and couldn't get out of bed, the bed couldn't be moved, and he felt pain right here. It just so happens to be an issue with the sacroiliac joint, so what does he need? An open mouth x-ray and standard antero-posterior and lateral pelvic x-rays. Because both of these areas were injured in the accident, both were impacted. After the accident, he didn't really understand these principles, and even the doctors couldn't figure it out. The orthopedic specialist couldn't understand it either. They also didn't really know what the relationship was between the upper and lower injuries after these two traumas, because this requires a very strong sense of the whole picture. Okay, after you get the imaging done, then we can proceed. This is to be responsible to you because you can't just move around carelessly. We don't know what's happening inside, and we also don't know if your tailbone was fractured in your last car accident. We need to see if your tailbone is fractured and check for any dislocation, but you don't need to feel too upset about it.
I'm not upset. I already knew about this when I attended the maternity class in 2021.
The greatest strength of a person is the ability to adapt. You've already adapted. Second, another great strength is the ability to compensate, so we can create a compensation plan tailored specifically for you. Yes, we'll compensate for you. Okay, let's take another look and keep choosing. You really do have a keen eye. Both of you are different from everyone else. All of your cases are due to trauma.